Timism, the periodic table of existence, a lattice of self and morality. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. What a beautiful expression. Basically, it means the development of the individual reflects the development of the species. Evolutionarily, if correct, life developed from single cells to the massive galaxies of cells sloshing around as the different species. So it is with fertilized eggs growing and dividing. Of course, the time length of each individual comes at the expense of others' existence. Humans look a lot like mosquitoes and tadpoles. Now and then, thanks to ontogeny, recapitulates phylogeny. While ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny is usually associated with biological processes, it also applies to the cognitive abilities and temporal awareness and sense of self. The history of humanity can be measured by the awareness of time. Aptly described and documented by the child psychologist John Piaget. Child development can be marked by the development of time and self-awareness, which go hand in hand. Ontogeny recapitulates phylogeny. Influencing and preceding Piaget was that old fart Freud, whose contributions cannot be underestimated to man's understanding and misunderstanding of self and time. In parallel are the contributions of that legacy who lived about the same time, Albert Einstein. Time and self are common to the study of human mental gymnastics. Freud had a three-part chart of the periodic table of existence with his id, ego, and superego. His analysis was the role of time and self in finding happiness. If psychoanalysis was so good, the capital of Freudian flavors would not be a pit of depression. Picking up where Piaget left off and reflecting a Freudian influence, another psychologist developed a personality food chain that reflects awareness and availability of time. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a part of timism, the periodic table of existence. With no sense of time, there is no sense of self or the future. This is found not only in little children, but adults who return to childhood in later years. Individuals with ADHD are found to have little sense of self and the future. No time, no self-control. As it is not good to let ADHD individuals be responsible for projects requiring a vision of the future, so is it irresponsible to let an ADHD occupy the Oval Office. Enthusiastically knocking over chessmen is not playing chess. In the game of life, you only get to play once. The key to happiness is also the key to life and existence. Time, and more time. How you use your substance of time today determines the substance of your time tomorrow. Symbols of time are not the key to happiness. As D. Geffen said, those who think money will make them happy are people who never had money. If you have no sense of time, you will not spend enough time each day preparing to efficiently solve future problems, or you will live only for the future, spending no time in the happiness of the moment and of the day. Between the foolishness of the selfishness and the foolishness of no self is the self of understanding of time. This echoes the timistic economic principle that a profit exists when it is split between the problem solver and problem sufferer. In this case, your today and tomorrow are the solver and the sufferer, between which the time gain should be split to have a profitable life. Remember, all work and no politics make Jack and Jill poor, unemployed, taxpayers, etc. Timism, the periodic table of existence, provides a framework within which and from which to cut the clutter to prioritize what matters to you, to yourself, and to your happiness. In most ways, it is easier to use than the how-tos of this periodic chart to chemistry. The primary source of happiness is free time, that is, time free from problems that waste and distract your time. If you are not gauging your pursuit of symbols in the substance of free time, well, at the minimum, you are prisoning your life to unhappiness, and probably enslaving others to a life of misery. Timism, the basis of better democracy and capitalism, is a value system whereby we can create a rising tide of free time for one and all to enjoy the right to happiness. The common origin of the Indo-European languages was not a common point, but a common activity, which lent itself to trading goods and sounds. Language is a time-saving tool, the historical development of which accelerated when humankind shifted from unstable hunting groups to stable agricultural communities. The amount of close, consistent communications increased with settled farmers compared to hunting groups that were constantly losing and adding members as they moved along on the trails fraught with danger that rewarded vocal silence, not verbal sharing. Morality from the periodic table of existence. More death or more life? More or less gray areas? Beginning at a metaphysical level, systems of morality are based on human actions that will lead to everlasting time. Morality has an interesting semantic root. More. More what? More death? Can you imagine how long a morality would last based on death? No. The more was more life and more time. Originally, farmers who innovated better implements were those workers who produced more, had more time, as well as more wits. They were the more, or moral people. From the two mores, and for a better life by sharing with others, the better workers codified what did and what did not work. Interestingly, the semantic root of law, legal, and logic are Latin for to gather. The original social activity that preceded cultivation of crops and domestication of animals, the morality of more wealth and worth, was codified as legal rules of logic. But that was before the separation of symbols and substance by habitual politicians and tenured economies. Most moral systems encourage pride in one's behavior. What does it mean for Timism that the semantic root of the moral concept of pride is the same as the economic concept of profit? Paressa, forward existence, forward time. What does semantic siblings of profit and pride mean? You can only honestly have pride in your actions when your actions profit you and your world. That is, you create and share more time than you consume. Simple, elegant, a great clutter cutter, a great moral tool for environmental and economic impact statements of tax and business laws. Can a thief have pride? No, just conceit or self-flattery. J.C., great actor, no thief. Can a murderer have pride? No, but his legitimate executioner can have pride for stopping the killer of time. Can a monopolistic price gouger have profits and pride? No, no, no. Virgin 95D. With the help of corrupt politicians or dishonest economists, one can be grossly overpaid. But one cannot claim to have profits and pride, nor can one claim to be moral, even if the corrupt politicians encourage you to run all the red lights at the intersection of it's immoral and it's illegal. In this secular trinity, one circle provides the intellectual rationale for another circle to legalize illogical laws, because neither of these circles possess the lower circle. What happens when the symbols of time are united with the substance of time? Profit is proud, wealth is worth, legal is logical, more is morality.